Some stories are just stories, but others are warnings. Not all haunted dolls look terrifying. In fact, some of the most dangerous ones look just like the toys you grew up with. This is the true story of one such doll. The story of Annabelle doesn't begin with the grotesque, porcelain-faced doll you see in movies. It begins with something far more innocent, something you might find in any child's bedroom. A simple Raggedy Ann doll. In 1970, a nursing student named Donna received this doll as a birthday gift from her mother. It was a charming, nostalgic present. Donna and her roommate, Angie, placed the doll on a bed in their small apartment, thinking nothing of it. At first, it was just a piece of decor, a reminder of childhood. But soon, the two young women began to notice small, unsettling things. It started with subtle movements. They would leave the apartment with the doll sitting on the bed, its legs crossed, and return to find its arms folded or its legs straightened out. At first, they brushed it off, thinking they were just misremembering its position. But the changes became more frequent, more undeniable. Soon, the doll wasn't just changing positions. It was changing rooms. They would leave it on the couch in the living room, only to find it back in the bedroom, with the door shut. This was impossible. No one else had a key to their apartment. The unease in the small apartment began to grow, like a shadow stretching across the floor. The doll, once a symbol of comfort, was becoming a source of quiet dread. The strange occurrences escalated. Donna and Angie started finding handwritten notes on parchment paper, something they didn't even own. The messages were childlike, scrawled in pencil. "Help us," one note read. Another simply said, "Help Lou." Lou was a friend of theirs who often visited and had expressed a deep distrust and fear of the doll from the very beginning. He felt there was something deeply wrong with it, an evil presence he couldn't explain. The women were now genuinely frightened. How could a doll write notes? Where was this paper coming from? The playful innocence of Raggedy Ann had vanished, replaced by a silent, watchful presence that was making its power known. Doors would creak open on their own. They'd hear faint scratching noises from the corner where the doll sat. The atmosphere in their home grew heavy, oppressive. They felt like they were being watched, constantly. Desperate for answers, Donna and Angie contacted a psychic medium. During a séance, the medium told them the doll was inhabited by the spirit of a 7-year-old girl named Annabelle Higgins. She had tragically died on the property where their apartment building now stood. The medium claimed Annabelle's spirit felt comfortable with the nursing students and simply wanted to stay with them to be loved. Feeling compassion for the lonely spirit, Donna and Angie gave it permission to inhabit the doll. This was their greatest mistake. By giving permission, they had opened a door, not to a lost little girl, but to something far older and more malevolent. The activity intensified dramatically. The entity was no longer hiding. One night, Lou awoke from a nightmare, paralyzed in his bed. He saw the Raggedy Ann doll at his feet. It slowly levitated up his body, stopped on his chest, and began to strangle him. He blacked out, convinced he was about to die. On another occasion, while alone in the apartment, he heard noises from Donna's room. Thinking someone had broken in, he went to investigate, only to find the doll sitting in a corner. As he approached it, he was suddenly struck by an unseen force and thrown against the wall. He looked down to see several distinct claw marks raked across his chest, bleeding through his shirt. The wounds were hot, like burns. They knew then that this was no little girl. This was something inhuman. Terrified, they finally sought help from Ed and Lorraine Warren, renowned paranormal investigators. The Warrens immediately recognized the severity of the situation. After investigating the apartment and interviewing everyone involved, they came to a chilling conclusion. There was no spirit of a little girl named Annabelle Higgins. Instead, a demonic entity had attached itself to the doll. It had lied, manipulating the girl's compassion to gain their permission to infest their lives. Its ultimate goal wasn't to possess the doll, but to possess a human host. The Warrens explained the doll was merely a conduit, a physical object the entity used to interact with the world and terrorize its victims. They performed an exorcism on the apartment, and for the safety of everyone, took the doll with them. The drive home was one of the most terrifying experiences of their lives. The doll's malevolent energy affected the car's steering and brakes, nearly causing several fatal accidents. Ed was forced to pull over and douse the doll in holy water to subdue the entity long enough for them to get home safely. Even today, the real story of Annabelle serves as a terrifying reminder that evil can exist in the most unassuming of forms. Our featured finds are curated for those who appreciate the darker side of history, who understand that true style has an edge of mystery. From tech that feels like it's from the future to apparel that embraces the shadows, these pieces are for the brave, the curious, and the ones who aren't afraid of the dark. Explore the collection and find something that tells your own story. Today, the real Annabelle doll does not reside on a movie set. It is locked away in the Warrens Occult Museum in Connecticut. It sits inside a specially constructed glass case, sanctified and blessed by a priest who visits regularly to keep the entity contained. The case is covered in warning signs, explicitly forbidding anyone from opening it. Despite these precautions, the doll's malevolent influence is still felt. Visitors to the museum have reported feeling a sense of dread, chest pains, and an overwhelming feeling of being watched when near the display. It is said that a young man once mocked the doll, banging on the glass and challenging the entity. He was killed in a motorcycle accident on his way home that very day. The doll remains where it is, a silent, locked-away testament to a real-life encounter with a powerful and inhuman force. It serves as a permanent, chilling warning. Some doors are never meant to be opened. Real horror, real stories, real-life events that actually happened. This is EerieDoseYT. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, click the like button. And see you in the next video, because we will talk about the poltergeist claims in England. To watch this episode, would you mind hitting the subscribe button and that notification bell so you won't miss this episode? Remember, stay curious, stay eerie,